You drove around with your kid for more than 5 hours while he was dead in your car. Because when they took him out of your car, he was stiff as a board.
Detectives turn up the heat on a mother, getting her to confess to strangling her young son.
Did you do anything else to him? No.
I have the video of cops grilling Shaneka McKinzie and the sad story of the murder of little Jason Burgos. Welcome to Crime Fix. I'm Angenette Levy. Jason Burgos was an 8-year-old little boy who was with his mother when he died. His mother, Shaneka McKinzie, is charged with murdering him, but her case is on hold right now, and I'll tell you why later. Jason's death is absolutely horrific. It's tragic. The investigation started on November 14th, 2023 in Hialeah, Florida, outside of Miami. Police said Shaneka McKinzie showed up at Hialeah Hospital with her son, Jason, and he was unconscious. But there was nothing doctors could do to save him. Jason was already dead. Detectives talked to Shaneka McKinzie to get her statement twice. Here she is in the interrogation room waiting for detectives to meet with her the day after Jason died. In her first police interview, McKinzie described her son wrapping a seatbelt around his neck, and you'll hear exactly what she told detectives here in a bit. But eventually, in a videotaped statement with detectives, Miami police say McKinzie confessed to murdering her son. A press release stated, the mother confessed to investigators that for the past 2 days, she plotted to kill her child. She further described that while the child was asleep in the rear passenger seat of her vehicle, she used a tablecloth to suffocate and strangle him until he became unresponsive. She then proceeded to drive around various parts of the county conducting errands with her unconscious child's body in the vehicle. Now, this is so incredibly disturbing and unbelievable. The fact that police claim McKinzie strangled her son with a tablecloth as he slept and then drove around with his body while she ran errands, I can't even imagine. But back to the detective's interview of Shaneka McKinzie. They brought her in after the autopsy had been performed on little Jason. At one point, you can actually see her look up at the camera. She knows she's being recorded. Detectives start by asking her about the day Jason died and a bruise on his ribs.
Do you know how he ended up getting that little bruise on his rib?
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't at a playground or anything earlier? Or not, I remember?
Not that day.
Okay. Can you do me a favor? Can you take me back to the day that he died? From the morning until you get to the hospital then? Just the whole story. I know, like I told you yesterday, I know it's hard, the questions, but we just gotta clarify everything that happened. Okay? That's all it is. That's all I need to do. So in the morning, at what time did you wake up that day?
I don't know.
You don't remember the time you woke up?
He woke up before I did. I woke up around 9.
Okay. Did you guys go eat breakfast or anything?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing whatsoever? You just went straight into work that day?
I left and went around and
When you say you left and drove around, where did you end up going?
just driving, going to get to the
And you went with him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you remember what gas station was from?
Might have been it's the one that's after the end.
Man?
Yeah,
Mobile? Is it close to the hotel you're at?
it's not the one that's real close, but it's over in the
I want to tell you about something that Megyn Kelly has out right now. It's a truly gripping and incredible investigative documentary on her YouTube channel. The disappearance of baby Lisa Irwin has been a mystery for more than a decade. Who took her from her crib in the middle of the night? And could she possibly still be alive? Megyn Kelly is taking you back inside the case in a special new 5-part series, Megyn Kelly Investigates. She interviews baby Lisa's parents, other key players in the case, and through hidden cameras brings the first ever comments from one of the men at the center of the story. Deep reporting, expert analysis, Megyn Kelly investigates on the disappearance of baby Lisa. All 5 episodes are available right now on the Megyn Kelly Show's YouTube channel and podcast feed. You can also find out more at megankelly.com. Now, you heard McKinzie tell police she didn't know how Jason got the bruise, and the detectives tell her that it did not come from chest compressions being performed at the hospital.
He had a bruise on his rib. He was sitting on my side hurt or something like that. For one. For two, he was a very wild child all over the place all the time.
Yeah, he was always jumping around and stuff, right?
If he did hurt himself, I didn't see it, and he didn't hurt himself enough to say something to me.
Okay.
So, and I didn't see no bruise on him. He didn't say anything about his side hurting. So y'all are telling me something. That's what I'm saying.
I mentioned earlier that McKinzie told police about an incident at a Wawa where she claimed Jason wrapped a seatbelt around his neck. This was an audio interview. Listen to what she described.
And you told officers on the scene earlier that your son had an incident at a gas station with a seatbelt?
He,
Do you remember what day that was?
Exactly. I know it was a couple of days ago.
So it was during November of this month.
I was actually working and I pulled over to get some gas and I ran in to get the gas. And usually he'd jump out the car behind me. I had the child locks on. He'll just jump out the front seat door. And but sometimes I tell him to stay in the car. Sometimes he would, most times he wouldn't. But this particular time he actually stayed in the car when I told him. But I think he threw a fit. Like
Yeah.
Like that.
And what? And
because when I got back
this
to
was
the
you
car,
said a couple days ago.
Mm-hmm.
Literally 2 days ago. Like
I don't know exactly what day, but I know it was. I don't have my phone, so I can't try to verify nothing. But I know it was within the last couple days. I say maybe 3 or 4 days ago. No more than that for sure.
Do you remember which gas station or no?
Wawa's on Okeechobee.
Wawa on Okeechobee?
Mhm. If they have me on camera, you'll see. I'm like.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
And I kept, cause I was shocked. I was in shock at how we was wrapped in there. He was like, "Okay, this is the seat, the back seat," and he's like this on the seat, and it's wrapped around his neck like that, across his back and across his front, and that's why I said he must like.
So during that interview, Shaneka McKinzie is making choking sounds. It almost sounds as if she's suggesting her son may have strangled himself. She even told detectives she had to cut the seatbelt off to get it off of Jason's neck.
Did he tell you what happened, how it happened?
I asked him. And that's kind of would fall into, I think, his... Because the older he got with things, when stuff would happen, he wouldn't tell me, or I guess he wouldn't know how to tell me, or whatever, because I kept asking him, how did you end up like that? And he was like, I don't know, it just got around me. And so, it would be hard to really get things out of him.
Now back to the video, and the detectives asked McKinzie to describe the seatbelt incident again.
So it was basically the seatbelt, it goes around like this.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say it might have been wrapped all the way around or like that, and it went behind his back, but it was some wrapped around his front too. So it wasn't buckled.
Mm-hmm. So it was just wrapped around all over him. Okay.
Did you notice if he could breathe? It was saying that he could still breathe.
He was breathing. He was just panicking.
He was just scared that it was wrapped around. But he was still breathing because he was able to talk to you and stuff. How long was it that he was wrapped?
I don't know. It happened when I was in the store, but when I came out, I said it was probably 2 or 3 minutes.
McKinzie goes on to tell the detectives she was shocked.
And then you said you grabbed the knife from the driver's side and you cut it. Okay. So when we review the video at Wawa's, what are we gonna see? Are we gonna see you cutting it with the knife right there?
The door was open, so if we into the car, you see that I was right there. Yeah.
Okay.
And you say you got gas, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when he was wrapped,
It happened when I was in the store.
Yeah, no, it happened when you were in the store, but you ended up getting gas and then you cut it off.
Is that like the only time you got gas this week, or you have to get gas a lot? About how many days a week do you get gas? Every day?
Every day.
Oh, damn.
McKinzie worked as a DoorDash driver, and you heard she told detectives that she gets gas every day. And what the detectives are doing is pretty common. They are getting McKinzie to restate her story, and they're also seeing how she reacts to information. She goes on to tell the detectives she got up that day, and her son said he wasn't feeling well and wanted to go to the doctor. Then she checked on him, and he felt weird. The detectives then empathize with McKinzie to try to get her to open up.
You've had a lot of things from what you told me yesterday, and you told us a lot about your life. You've had a lot of things swept away from underneath you, and that you've lost, that you've worked hard for, and that you've lost. You know, you got removed from the military, you said. You lost your beautiful house that you had. You were telling us about that beautiful house, and your landlord just one day or the next said, hey, you know, you're out of here. I want my son to move in. You haven't had it easy. And I'm sure that, you know, even you trying to sell your bracelets in front of Starbucks with your son, you know, then they issue you a trespass warning. Like, you're just trying to make it. As a single mom, your father's son passed away from a tragic car accident. And, you know, I'm sure it's a lot to take your son to work with you every day in the car, because, man, I did road trips with my family. I could barely do a 4-hour trip to Disney with my brothers, like friggin' punching each other and screaming, and it's a lot. And you, who have to be on your phone, he probably wants to play with your phone all the time, watch videos. I can imagine. He's at that age. So it's a lot, and it's probably very overwhelming for you. You're not very close with your parents. You're not dating anybody, correct? So, you know, don't feel bad about feeling that way. You're very justified in feeling that way. Okay?
Shaneka McKinzie and Jason were living at different hotels in Florida after they moved there from Missouri earlier in 2023. The little boy was not enrolled in school, so she took him along on DoorDash deliveries with her. The detectives then confront McKinzie with the autopsy results. Watch her face carefully.
Listen, I'm going to give you a little bit of a hard truth now. Okay? And I want you to be honest. All right? We do this job for a long time, and we know a lot. Okay? Your son was strangled. I'm going to lay it out on the table. He was strangled. You're the only one who is. Okay? There's a lot of inconsistencies in your story. Right? Listen, if you felt like the world was crashing down and you had no other way to escape or other to give him a better life, and you thought that was the only way out, it's okay. So what really happened? Yes.
And can you tell me how you are here, Strangler? Because
I'm telling you what happened.
That's his neck, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you told me to put him on his side.
There was.
So I'm feeling like you're telling me something happened to him at the hospital.
Ain't nothing happened to him at the hospital. It happened to him while you were with him.
How?
Okay. We already knew.
Do I get to see him?
To see him?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe at a funeral or something, but I don't know.
We wanted to give you the opportunity to say the truth about what happened. That's what we're here to do.
I understand that, but
now that we know the facts, now that we know the scientific facts, because people lie to us all the time, but the science didn't lie. And we had a doctor for hours evaluating his body and told us what happened. But, you know, we want to know why it happened. That's all. We know what happened.
Being strangled.
So something happened to this little boy, and you're his caretaker.
You're the only one with him the whole time, so you're the only one that...
I didn't strangle my son.
You know?
So what did you do to him, or what
I told y'all exactly what happened. Y'all trying to add that in. I want to see his body.
Shaneka McKinzie insists that someone at the hospital had to have hurt her son.
No,
If he was strangled, it happened to him after he got to that hospital. I don't understand why they would touch him like that, but that happened to him after he got to the hospital. He was in the car, and then they took him out of the car. He was in the hospital. That would have shown.
You don't hemorrhage after you die. That's science, huh?
No, what I'm saying is, like...
When he got to the hospital, he was already still. He was dead for a while. And you know.
What's a while?
More than 5 hours. You're looking me in the eye, and I'm telling you.
No, I'm telling you. You're telling me my story has inconsistencies about my child. He was in the car, on the floor. I was driving around for work. I didn't strangle him. I told y'all exactly what happened. It's like you want me to add that in there or something.
No, it's not add that in there. It's just what happened.
Okay, well, I can see his body, right? And I want to see those signs.
You're not going to see his body right now. And I'm not going to lie to you. Everything's documented, everything's reported, everything's fine.
But according to police, McKinzie brought her unconscious son to the hospital after she'd been driving around with his lifeless body for hours. At one point, the investigator accuses the mother of being savvy enough to concoct a narrative about medical workers hurting Jason.
I honestly think that you knew we were going to find something wrong with his neck. And that's why you said this story about the seatbelt.
No, it's a Wawa. You can check it on camera.
Yeah. He did this. He's looking there for bubbles. He went to the 3 of them and all children. How does stuff that don't work in the soul?
I'll find out exactly what it is in the channel. No, it's not. So basically, I feel like if he was strangled, then that hurt him more than I knew. That'll be the only thing.
The thing is, right, with the injuries that he's consistent with on his neck, he's not going to survive 2 or 3 days of life. That's literally instantly right there. He's died. It happened yesterday. You're the only one who...
I didn't say that the Wawa thing caused that. I didn't say that, but you're telling me that he was strangled. That's the only time something was around.
No, but just that.
And then you just told me that didn't happen. So now I feel like you're putting words.
Since you knew, right, what happened, right, how he died, because whichever way, however it is that you probably strangled him.
How? Wow.
Yeah, no, I'm going to give you the hard truth. I don't care.
No, that's not a hard truth. That is an instant lie.
Because of that?
Because you just said that the Wawa thing didn't happen. And that, if Wawa has cameras, I will, when I get my car, if y'all let me go, because y'all are trying to, like,
well,
you just told me.
We're trying to pinch me? No.
No, you just. I feel like that because you just told me something didn't happen that did happen at a place that should have cameras.
You gotta remember the medical examiner, right? They rule this a homicide, right? Because he was killed by mechanical strangulation. That means somebody strangled. You're the only person with him. Okay, you're not a dumb person. You're a smart girl. Okay? So, all we need is the truth.
You're telling me things that I can't identify with because I don't know it. It's like you want me to add it in there or something like that with
No,
the
it's not
strangling
aggravated. That's
and
where
the
you're leaving out,
bruising.
where you're lying
And then
about.
you're saying the
You're lying.
situation didn't happen at Wawa. Like,
You're lying.
I
The whole
can't-
thing with the CISO was to try to say that in case if a mark comes out of his neck, because you're not a dumb person. You know you're not dumb.
okay, but it did happen. And I can prove that it happened because it actually happened. If they have cameras at that place, then you'll see it on camera.
Okay, let's say we were to find it. That's not what killed him.
That's what I'm saying, but he's saying strangulation. That's the only time
We
something
want to
went around his
know
neck.
how your son died of mechanical asphyxiation. Meaning something was putting pressure on his airway, on his neck. Okay? Maybe he was screaming, maybe he was talking, maybe he was bugging you. I don't know. You have another son. You are a strong, independent mother. A single mother. Be accountable for your actions. Show your other son that you are remorseful, that you own up to your mistakes in life. That you, maybe you're not remorseful, maybe it wasn't a mistake, maybe you're happy, maybe you feel a sense of relief. And let him know. Show him the mother that you can be. Because you still have another son. But to lie and to not take responsibility for it,
at all.
the story is not adding up. The story is not adding up to the physical evidence at all.
Okay.
So
So maybe he suffocated back there on the floor.
That's not what happened, ma'am. That's not what it shows.
It involves force.
The investigators turn up the temperature, and there's a lot of cursing, lots of F-bombs.
You think that we're lying, that we're making this
I do.
You really do. In your head, you think that we're lying? That's ridiculous. I'm not. Because you honestly, you killed your kid. And it's sad that a mother does that shit. You know why? Because you're weak. That's what the you are. You're weak. You couldn't take care of your kid. You would always lose him, right? And you couldn't deal with it. You wanted to be alone, and you killed your kid. You strangled your own flesh and blood. And then you keep blocking it out and trying to make some story up. And that's all it is. A story, a fairy tale in your head. Which is ridiculous. Own the up to your shit. It is what it is. You strangled your kid. All the evidence is out on the table for it. You're the only one with him, the only caregiver. He lives with you only in that hotel. You take him everywhere. You drove around with your kid for more than 5 hours while he was dead in your car. Because when they took him out of your car, he was stiff as a board. You know what the that is? So, if I failed as a mother, yeah, you did fail. That's what you fucking did. You wanted to escape this whole life?
Investigators then get McKinzie to open up again by showing her something that looked like she was trying to get help for her son.
I'm going to see if I can help you out here with memory, because I actually looked through your phone earlier, okay? And the first thing that popped up in your photos was a screenshot of Florida Department of Family, of Children and Families. And you had a screenshot of that that said the Florida Department of Children and Families location. Yeah, you had a picture of that in your phone.
McKinzie then describes what she did before police said she killed her son.
He was snoring where you were doing his work. Okay. Did you go to the Burger King first, or you? Yeah. So from that spot, your next stop was Burger King, right? And you don't remember where that whole thing happened, right? The incident. You don't even remember exactly where? Do you remember any landmarks around you, any signs, any businesses that, nothing?
Was the Burger King really close to the place?
The hotel?
Well, to the place where you ended up doing something.
It wasn't close? It was in Miami that it happened? Oh, the Burger King with man. And you think you killed him in Fort Lauderdale?
McKinzie was booked into the jail after police say she confessed. The part of her interview where she confessed is redacted until her case concludes.
Good afternoon, Ms. McKinzie. You were arrested for 1 count of first-degree murder.
The judge appointed a public defender to represent McKinzie.
So I've reviewed the arrest affidavit. There is probable cause for the charge of first-degree murder. She killed her child. So I'm holding you with no bond. Good day, ma'am.
McKinzie almost looked confused. Recently, the court found that she was incompetent to stand trial. Competency is an issue that has to do with whether someone is mentally able to help with their own defense. A judge has determined she can't do that right now, but competency can be restored, so we'll see whether or not that happens. So for now, the case is on hold. That's it for this episode of Crime Fix. I'm Angenette Levy. Thanks so much for being with me. I'll see you back here next time.